Hello Pokemon trainers! Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Battle Stadium singles video here on iStarly TV. This is part of my Road to Master series where I try to climb the online ranked Battle Stadium singles ladder. We have a brand new team today, and I mean it's not 100% new. Kind of the game plan, the little gimmick of the team is not new. I featured this a few videos ago, which is the Smeargle Baton Pass team. If you've watched a lot of my videos at this point, you probably have not heard me, or you've heard me not shut up about how much I love Smeargle. Smeargle is my favorite Pokemon, and I know the only way to play it in these games is to make it very annoying. Unfortunately, Smeargle's stats are absolute dog water, no pun intended. Actually, pun intended. And so the only way to make use of the fact that it can learn every single move in the game is to make it like a support Pokemon with like Focus Sash. And so just quick explanation in case you missed the last video with Smeargle. We have Fake Out to stun the opponent turn 1 and get a Moody boost. Then we have Spore to put them to sleep. Minimize, of course, to set up once they're asleep. And then, of course, the whole time we're doing all of this, we are getting Moody boosts. And then from there, once we've set up a couple Minimizes or so, we Baton Pass those boosts to one of our Pokemon. There is a good amount of luck involved. It's not like the most, foolproof gimmick in the world. I mean, that's why it's called a gimmick. It's not the most airtight strategy you'll ever run in the Showdown, or in the Battle Stadium singles ladder, but it can be pretty strong, and of course it can be extremely annoying. So in the last video, my main Baton Pass target was Cacturne, who is one of my other favorite Pokemon. I would love to feature Cacturne again, but this time around the rest of my team's a little more balanced. Like, obviously Cacturne, while I love it, is not a very strong Pokemon. On this team, basically all of these are individually pretty strong Pokemon. So the main targets for Baton Pass are Incineroar and Corviknight. I think I had Incineroar in the last... Maybe not. I forgot whether Incineroar was on my team last time, honestly. Because I've made so many iterations of this team and tested them on Pokemon Showdown that, I lose track of which one is which. But either way, Incineroar has Intimidate itself, so if we Baton Pass into it, it also adds another layer of annoyance to the enemy where we pass a lot of boosts to it, and it also lowers their attack, which can be great. And then it also has Substitute and Trailblaze, the goal being to eventually get behind a Substitute, especially if we have a lot of Minimize boosts. And then set up Trailblaze so we can outspeed stuff and also rack up a little bit of damage. And then finally, Darkest Lariat is Stab. It's a pretty solid move. It also ignores the enemy's boosts as well, which can be useful. And then finally, Drain Punch, just for some recovery, and it's also just a solid move. Unfortunately, I don't have any Fire-type coverage, but I've found this to be fine even without it. We're Terra Grass because it complements our typing decently. We're weak to Water and Ground, and Grass resists both of those. It also makes us immune to Leech Seed and Spore, which are a couple things that could make us, could ruin our day, basically. Then we've got Typhlosion. I used this on the last Smeargle team as well. Typhlosion's main goal is to counter lead. So when my opponent sees Smeargle, they're probably going to expect me to lead with it. And a few Pokemon that are really good against Smeargle that can stop it from setting up include Pokemon like Annihilate, Meowscarada, maybe even Breloom. These are Pokemon that can ignore the Spore, and or they also can survive a hit, or they ignore Fake Out, or just a lot of different combinations of things that can be really annoying. And so Typhlosion is pretty decent against most of those. And it's Choice Scarf with Eruption and Shadow Ball. So the goal with that is if we see one of those Pokemon on the enemy team, I can lead with Typhlosion instead and potentially kill them right away with an Eruption or Shadow Ball, or at least get off a ton of damage. So that's why we have Typhlosion. And it's just an awesome Pokemon too. Corviknight is another Baton Pass target for the team. It also has Power Trip, which of course is basically like stored power, where the more boosts we have, the more damage it does. And then I also have the Roost Iron Defense, strategies. It's Corviknight, so it's really, really good. And if we can Baton Pass some Minimizes to it, the enemy is going to have a really bad day. The last two Pokemon are other potential Baton Pass targets that can also kind of complement what else we have going on. We have Rotom Wash right there. Rotom Wash is a Pokemon that was really good at the beginning of Scarlet and Violet Battle Stadium, of course before the Paradox Pokemon entered. and it does not see quite as much play anymore, but it's still a solid Pokemon. It's got a great typing with Levitate and just pretty solid stats all around. So I just wanted a special attacker that we could Baton pass to and that just has a really well-rounded typing. Once again, Rotom is only weak to grass, and so, like, you know, Incineroar complements that really well because it resists grass. So Rotom can just be a good Pokemon to, like, you know, tank hits and just do a lot of damage. Finally, we have Porygon 2. This is offensive Porygon 2. I wanted something else that can just be really tanky and, you know, maybe can be good against, like, strong special attackers or strong non-fighting type physical attackers. And yeah, I just settled on Porygon 2 and we'll see how it goes. Honestly, Porygon 2 is the Pokemon I've tested the least on this team, so I'm not really sure how it's going to do, but I expect it to be okay. So let's get to some games. Let's see how many opponents we can make rage with my wonderful Smeargle. Alright, we are against Gengar, and they have a Gengar. Their team is very interesting. They have Politoed. They have Rain with Palafin. I've really wanted to try to make a Rain team with Politoed. I'll probably try to do that at some point soon. It would have to be this month because, of course, next month we go back to the restricted legends. But either way, my opponent has a lot of ghost types, or at least 2 of them, which, as I mentioned, are not Pokemon I like to see with Smeargle, especially Dragapult. Dragapult is actually a nightmare. It's actually one of the worst Pokemon for me because it's faster and it has Dragon Darts, which can destroy me even through my Focus Sash. And so I just can't do anything against it. And of course, it's a Ghost type, so I can't fake it out. That is rough. And of course, I want to lead Incineroar, but then if they lead Politoed, that's really bad. I wonder if I lead Smeargle. I mean, there's a chance they don't lead Dragapult. I could also just go ahead and lead with Typhlosion, but once again, if they lead Politoed, that's just so bad. I mean, honestly, this is pretty scary. I think I'm gonna run it like this and see how that goes. Like, Typhlosion's pretty solid here, but the fact that they have a Rain team is pretty bad. I think we can try to make this work. We're gonna have to play it smart though, because their team has a lot of like little potentially annoying strategies like Rain. If they have like Destiny Bond with Gengar, that could be a real problem. So we're just gonna have to see how this all plays out, because I feel like they are gonna lead Dragapult. Of course they do. I led with Smeargle just in case they don't, but given that they did, I definitely don't want to stay in. I'm just gonna go right into Corviknight. The main reason I brought Corviknight is because it's good against Dragapult, but also it is good against Palafin. That is assuming their Dragapult is physical. If their Dragapult ends up being special, I probably lose. Oh wow, they Terra right away. I wonder what this is gonna be. Are they like Terra Grass to ignore the Spore? That would be crazy. Terra Dragon. Okay, Terra Dragon into Dragon Darts. They wanted to guarantee that they get that kill on Smeargle right off the bat, but luckily for me, I did go into my Corviknight. We'll see how much damage this does. I hope they don't have a fire move. If they're purely physical, they probably don't have a fire move because, Dragapult, the only fire moves it gets are special. I'm going to go ahead and Roost here just in case. Because if I Iron Defense and they go for like a really strong move, they might just kill me. Okay, so we get their Terra right off the bat. Now, that's really good for us, but also we still have to play safe with the remainder of the battle because we know that Dragonite is out there. Although we could possibly put it to sleep, so they go into Goodra. Goodra can have a fire or electric move, so switching into Smeargle might not be a smart idea, but honestly I'm going to. If Smeargle ends up dying, it's not the end of the world because Rotom can hold its own potentially, and then Corviknight is there. We just don't want Corviknight to take too much damage because we need it for that Dragapult. They do go Flamethrower. That's good information for me. I do believe I'm faster than Goodra, unless we get a speed drop. Okay, good. I was scared. I do believe I'm faster, which should let me Spore. I'm going to Spore. I could Fake Out, but if they go right back into Dragapult, then we lose our Smeargle, basically. Oh, they have Sap Sipper. Oh, that's so bad. I should have thought of that. I mean, Goodra has 3 potential abilities, and all of them are actually pretty good, so I should have considered that they could have Sap Sipper, so that's a mistake on my part. Honestly, I think this is going to mean that we're going to have to start setting up with Corviknight and just hope for the best, and of course I am going to have to Terrasilize here. I think that I am Specially defensive? That was a huge mistake on my part. I actually should have gone fake out there. I am not specially defensive, okay. Well, this is our only hope. We should still take okay damage from the fire move, and you know, I've tried using Hisuian Gudra in the past. It's really good, but also, like, it's really tanky and it learns a lot of moves, but it isn't really that strong. And now with Archilodon existing, Archilodon's just better in, like, every way. Not every single way, but Archilodon is better. So let's start setting up here. I mean, we're going to need these boosts in order to knock out the Gudra. I think I'm just going to fire off a Body Press right now. We are faster than it, so even if we don't kill them here, we can just roost the next turn. Oh, nice. I'm a little surprised by that, honestly. I did not expect this. Okay. If their last two Pokemon are physical attackers, I think we're in a really good spot here. We know one of them is a physical attacker. Is it Dragapult? Okay, I'm really happy. Excuse me. I'm really happy to see this. I'm going to actually start with a Roost just to scout how much damage they do. They have already Terrastalized, of course, so that really helps me out as well, because it means that I can just hit them with Body Press. I don't have to worry about going for Power Trip. I mean, this might potentially kill me, although I doubt it. Yeah, we take that really, really well. So I think we're in a really good position here. Oh, okay, it's a good thing I roosted here, because that could have been bad. Because of that, I might actually have to roost again, just because we want to be healthy enough for the future. I'm going to roost here as long as they don't get a crit again. And then what I think I'll do... Yeah, we take that extremely well. Then what I'll do is probably go for Iron Defense on this coming turn right here. So their other Pokemon in the back are Palafin and Baxcalibur, as well as Politoed. I don't think they have Politoed, because they wouldn't have it in the back. And if you're going to bring Politoed, you're going to also bring Palafin. And obviously they didn't bring... Like, they can't have both of those in the back, right? And then if they have Baxcalibur, I'm in a good spot because I'm setting up my defense. If they have Palafin, I'm in a good spot because I'm also setting up my defense. Of course, their last Pokemon, now that I just remember it, is Gengar. So we have a good chance of that happening. I was gonna say, is like, as long as they don't have Gengar, like, I think we're gonna win this battle, because Politoed would be really bad by itself. And then again, Baxcalibur and Palafin are both physical attackers, so we would just be able to tank hits from them all day. So, little awkward gameplay for me. Obviously, I made that big mistake of forgetting about Sap Sipper, but, you know, at least with the Smeargle play in the beginning, I still led with it just to scout. I was hoping they wouldn't end up leading Dragapult, but they did. But we were still able to play around that. So just knowing what your opponent can do is super important with Smeargle. Obviously, I failed that in the second, situation where they had Sap Sipper, but aside from that, just kind of having a game plan with Smeargle, because otherwise it's pretty rough. Anyways, let's go to game 2. Here is our second game. My opponent has Basket Legion, which is scary. They have 2 strong physical attackers, which Corviknight is very good against, but the rest of their Pokemon are special attackers. Corviknight's still pretty solid against Ursaluna, unless it's Terra Electric, which I have seen. But if it's not Terra Electric, Corviknight's still good. So Corviknight's kind of good against, like, half of their team, and really bad against a couple, and then, like, probably pretty bad against the other, Primarina. Either way, I mean, something I kind of should mention right off the bat is that this does look like a good Smeargle lead game. And the question is, do I go into Corviknight after that, or do I go into Incineroar? And then between these two as well. Rotom's actually pretty solid too. Its typing lines up pretty decently. Their Pokemon are strong enough that, like, Rotom isn't going to be, like, tanking them for days, but it can at least probably survive against everything, at least one hit. And then finally, I think I want Incineroar in the back because of that Volcarona. Incineroar's, I mean, they have 2 water types. I mean, I guess I have Rotom for Volcarona. I just feel like it's really likely they bring Volcarona, but we're going to go like this. Volcarona could destroy us. We have to hope to get really lucky with our Smeargle. Which, like I said, this does look like a really good Smeargle game. They don't have anything that can... Oh, actually, they do have Basket Legion that is immune to Fake Out. But if they lead Basket Legion, I can just Spore it. Like, we'll survive any hit from it, and then I can Spore. They do lead Primarina, which I'm happy to see, because this should take a Fake Out, and then we get a Moody Boost, and then we Spore them. And then we kind of just go from there and just kind of see how turns play out. Look how cute Smeargle is. Of course, I had to get the Great Friend ribbon on it just because I think it's so awesome. Because I'm a huge Smeargle fan. Let me know in the comments what Pokemon you... Ooh, what is this? An item? Oh, it's leftovers. I thought it was like an item that prevents flinching. Let me know in the comments what are some Pokemon you love that like you feel like no one else loves. Like for me, of course, it's Smeargle. I feel like I'm ever the only one who like talks so much about Smeargle. Anyways, let's go ahead and Spore. Luckily, we did not get the speed drop, so we are going to be faster still. We are going to get to put them to sleep. We know that they do not have Chesto Berry, so there's no chance of them waking up right here. And this is going to allow me to get off those minimizes. I'm trying to think. Does Primarina have anything that like makes its moves like super accurate? I don't think so. But either way, we get at least one free minimize, I'm sure, because they'll probably be asleep for at least one more turn. And then by the time they wake up, we will be very hard to hit with the evasion boosts, and we will still have our Focus Sash. And if they happen to wake up and attack us and miss, then we just put them right back to sleep the next turn. So again, you're not making any friends with this battle, with this team, with this gimmick. But it is fun to pull off, because you could basically Baton Pass to like anything. If you can get this setup going, you could try to make like a Tatsugiri sweep or something. We do need to keep track of our boosts though. Our speed finally falls, but I think we're at +3 speed, which I'm perfectly fine with. Unfortunately, here's the awkward thing. We have an attack drop and a special attack drop, which means that whichever Pokemon we pass to, like they're gonna have an offensive drop. Okay, they finally wake up, and they miss the Psychic Noise. Yeah, this is the part where my opponent's probably gonna start pulling out their hair. Special attack Rose and special defense Fall. I think that's enough for me to Baton Pass right into Rotom. It is very awkward that we have a couple special defense drops, so if my opponent's Primarina is ever able to get through the evasion, they're probably going to kill us. So let's see what we get right here, though, because if we get an attack boost, maybe I will just go right into a speed boost, defense drop. Okay, that's fine. Again, we just have to dodge a hit. We are at maximum evasion, so it's pretty unlikely my opponent hits us. And I feel like if we get the kill here, we're good to go. I mean, I could go into Corviknight. We have a bunch of defense boosts. That's the safer option, but we haven't seen Rotom in a long time. I always bring Corviknight, so let's go ahead and bring out a Rotom here with a cute little mark. It's Rotom the Dozy. They wake up right away. No! Oh, never mind. I take that really well. Wait, why is it not very... Oh, because their ability, they have a Liquid Voice, which makes all of their noise moves into water-type moves. I also have a really, really powerful stored power, but I'm just going to go Thunderbolt. They might Terra here. Oh, if they didn't have Liquid Voice, I'd probably die there, because I'm at -2 special defense. And Primarina's a really strong special attacker. Unless they're, like, not super invested in special attack. Like, maybe they're just, like, Calm Mind or something. I don't know. But either way, I feel like the fight's going to snowball from here. Typically, I run Terra Fairy on Rotom. This time around, however, I am running Terra Electric. I actually might... let's just Stored Power, actually. I was going to say I might go Terra into Thunderbolt, but Volcarona does sometimes run Terra Grass, so I'm just going to run Stored Power, see what happens. They are Terra Grass. Yeah, they were expecting the Hydro Pump, so this is actually a good play for me. Of course, there's also that chance that we dodge any move. We either kill them here, and if we don't kill them, then, yeah, there we go. The Stored Power just does it. That's game. I'm pretty sure that's game, because even if they go into something and knock out Rotom, we just go back into Smeargle and just start all over again and fake out the whatever they go into, and then Spore it, and then set up minimizes. So once again, you know, definitely a team you probably don't always want to play because, you know, everyone's going to hate you, but if you don't mind people hating you, this is all for you. I guess I should have paid attention to how many boosts I actually have just so we know the power of our stored power. I guess I'll check that now even though the game is over because we just use any move here and knock them out. So that's 24, 60, 80. Oh god, yeah, this stored power is a nuke. I'm not even going to count all of that. I'm very surprised they survived, though. They have Protect? What? Is this like a... Maybe this is like a doubles Porygon that they brought over. Because the only time you ever run Protect in singles is if you have like Leech Seed and or Substitute and or Leftovers. Just making sure you're healing every turn, like that gives you a reason to Protect. Otherwise, it's not really valuable. But either way, or Speed Boost. Either way, we get that knockout. We get to sweep with Rotom, which is great. And we got to show off the game plan with Smeargle, which is awesome. So, of course, I'm happy. So let's go to one more game here. I love my opponent's trainer card, by the way, but game 3. Our third game, we have Palafin again. Palafin's an awesome Pokemon. I really like it. I want to make another team with it, but either way, yeah, it's hard to pull off, and their team is pretty weak to Smeargle, although one thing to keep in mind, or one Pokemon to potentially be afraid of, is Rillaboom. But I don't know if Rillaboom alone is enough for me to want to bring my Typhlosion. Especially because they have Kleavor, and Kleavor does typically run Focus Sash. Also, they have Infernape, who does learn Fake Out, although I feel like typically in singles it's not going to run it. I mean, Infernape's another Pokemon that Typhlosion is good against, but I'm gonna go with our game plan. We're just gonna run it back. I will bring Incineroar because it's good against a lot of their team aside from Palafin, although it can also intimidate Palafin. And then I'm just gonna bring I want to bring Rotom again, but I'm gonna bring Corviknight. I mean, Rotom's pretty solid against a lot of their team, but I think Corviknight's just flat out good against like most of their team. It's good against pretty much everything on their team except for their Infernape, because they have a bunch of physical attackers. Both of us have Mew in our training cards. It's cool. Alright, my opponent is dripped out, and they're going to lead Palafin, which I kind of expected. You know, if you're going to run Palafin, you do typically want to lead with it. This is going to allow me to just go for that Fake Out right off the bat, which is going to stop their flip turn and get some damage. They might also switch right away if they have Rillaboom in the back. Now, if they go into Rillaboom here, and we happen to get a speed boost with Moody, we're in a really good spot. But if we don't, we are going to be in trouble. Are they Terra Ghosts? Is there any chance they're Terra Ghost? Because that would be insane. Oh, they're Terra Water. Wow, this is really aggressive on my opponent's part. Basically, any Terra aside from Ghost is just fine by me, and I'm really happy to see it, in fact, because, of course, what this means is their Palafin is going to be doing a lot of damage to our Pokemon because it gets the extra boost, but not until it switches out. It has to switch out first. So we're going to Spore here. I think we speed... Oh, no, the Jet Punch. Okay, I mean, we're going to pretty much get taken right down to our Sash here. This is actually potentially scary. We kind of need a speed boost now. Because if they switch out here, we might have to go ahead and go right for the Baton Pass preemptively. Speed fell. That is actually kind of rough. +1 defense, +2 special attack. That is... Oh. If we were at +2 defense, I'd feel happy about going right into Corviknight. Because we could minimize here, but the thing is, if they go into something and then they get the hit on us, I think we have to Baton Pass. I actually think we have to Baton Pass. This is kind of rough. Oh, they stay in. Oh, no. I mean, it's fine that they stay in, but I really wish that we would have stayed in then. But I think it's too risky to stay in with our Smeargle at 1 HP. We might as well capitalize on what little boosts we have now. I mean, Incineroar can't boost its attack by itself, so I'm going to go into Corviknight. The problem here is that we are at -1 speed, but we are already at +1 defense. Also, my opponent has Terastallized, which means that Corviknight can take on everything. Like, there's no surprises. There's no, like, Terra, Electric, or Saluna that's gonna, you know, destroy us out of nowhere. They're still asleep. I think this is... Getting up an Iron Defense here is gonna basically lock us in against this Palafin. Like, there's almost nothing they can do as a Palafin anymore. I don't think it gets, like, Swords Dance or anything. And we're about to be at... Well, we're at +3 now. Flip turn, okay. So we know that they're not choiced, which also kind of helps. Oh, wow, that does nothing. So yeah, my opponent, as you could tell there, my opponent unfortunately completely wasted their Terra. I guess I see the logic, but I mean, that's funny. That's two games or two times in this video where our opponent used their Terra right away to try to kill our Smeargle, but of course we have Focus Sash. Okay, so they go right into Dragonite. The confidence with which they did this is kind of scary to me. I kind of wonder what else they could have. They could have a fire move. They could have like Encore, which would honestly be really bad. Oh, they Ice Spin. Okay. Alright, we're fine. We're fine. That does absolutely nothing. It does negative damage. And I'm going to go ahead and Iron Defense now. If they Encore me now, I'm locked into Body Press, which I'm just fine with. Yeah, they spam Ice Spinner. Unfortunately, that's just not going to do anything. And this is at plus... We are now at +5 defense, so Body Press is just going to be destroying everything at this point. Even Pokemon that resist it, like Dragonite. I could Terra to do more damage. I actually don't think that's such a bad idea, but the problem with that is if their last Pokemon is Ursaluna, and we are a fighting type, then their Blood Moons are going to do a lot more damage to us, and I definitely don't want that, because we're kind of all in on Corviknight at this point. Yeah, they just Ice Spin again. That's kind of painful to watch. If we don't kill here, I think I'll actually Roost and then finish them off the next turn, just so that we're really healthy for whatever they go into. Because again, if it is that Ursaluna, that's going to be the scariest one. If it's literally anything else, we are at +5 defense, and they are all physical attackers, so I think we're just fine. I guess Infernape could be like mixed. It could have like Flamethrower or Overheat, but I'm pretty sure I survived one of those. They have Roost. Wow. Okay. So that's gonna get him pretty healthy. I guess I'll just go oh wow, never mind. Oh wow, I'm surprised that killed. I was gonna say I was gonna say Body Press, but I meant Iron Defense. I was gonna say I guess I could go Iron Defense one more time to get that max, and then you know, spam Body Press. But here they do go into Infernape, and we're just gonna go ahead and Terra now. Again, they cannot Terra, so there's no way they could like go Terra Ghost or something and survive this or whatever. They could have Focus Sash, but either way, I'm gonna survive any hit that they go for, even if it's a Flamethrower, unless they're like Choice Specs, Modest, like Overheat. Even then, I think I survived. Corviknight's pretty tanky. Oh, they do have Flamethrower. Oh my god, that did a lot of damage. It has Life Orb. Okay, well, luckily we're about to kill it. Wow, that did so much damage. Huh. If they crit me, I think they win the game. So I'm actually going to Roost here, just in case. Do I have to Roost? I don't think... No. Ooh, that's scary. You know what? We're guaranteed slower than them. I'm just going to go ahead and Body Press. We're going to be slower no matter what, so if we Roost, like, it doesn't change anything. Oh my god, are we about to lose? I mean, we're at +6 defense, or +5. Okay, cool. And that's insane. That just shows how extremely bulky Corviknight is, because Palafin is a really strong Pokemon. It has, like, when it's in this form, it has, like, 165 attack. Oh, I don't think they quit. My capture card kind of cut out. Hopefully, okay, it comes back. Yeah, that happens sometimes. It's so weird. But either way, we're able to get a win. I thought my opponent rage quit. Maybe they rage quit so hard that they cut out our capture card. But I mean, Palafin's a really strong Pokemon. Wave Crash is like one of the strongest water type moves. They were Terra Water, and we took like 40 damage from it. So, you know, I guess we're using a gimmicky Pokemon in the form of Smeargle, but one of the main Pokemon on this team is that Corviknight, and Corviknight is not a gimmicky Pokemon. I love Corviknight. I use it a lot. If you've seen my battles, like there it is. It's already on this other team right here. If you've seen my videos, you know that I do often run Corviknight, and it's just so good. It just destroys like just about any physical attacker. But that was a good video. We got to see a lot of these Pokemon. I mean, we did bring Incineroar, but I actually didn't switch it in. Unfortunately, we never got to see the Typhlosion or Porygon game plan. Again, there was that battle where Typhlosion might have been decent against the Dragapult, but we still chose to like play around the Dragapult even with Smeargle. So a lot of options with this team, and like I said, you can build this Smeargle set and just kind of build the team around that. Like I do think having a Pokemon like Typhlosion that can help you against Pokemon that are going to counter lead you, that's a good idea. So again, try to imagine with your Smeargle, because you're going to try to always go for that game plan. try to imagine which Pokemon are going to make that game plan either impossible for you or very difficult for you, and then add Pokemon on your team that can help against those Pokemon. So like I said, Ghost types are scary because they can ignore Fake Out. Grass types are scary because they can ignore Spore. So basically something that can help me against Ghost and Grass. And of course there's a Pokemon who's very good against that, which is this. I guess something like a Dark and Fire type could also work. I mean, there's a lot of options, right? And then from there you have a couple Pokemon that you want to Baton Pass to. I also try not to go super deep on just the Baton Pass strategy, which is why, again, Corviknight's just a really good Pokemon by itself, but also it benefits from Baton Pass. Same with these two. They're really good by themselves, but if you Baton Pass to them, they get even better. So this team, you know, it was more all in on the Cacturn, but everything else was like kind of just generally good. But yeah, that's the Smeargle strat. It's really awesome. I love me some Smeargle. I love me some Cacturn. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and I hope you're having a great day. Comment below your favorite topping on pizza. I don't judge. I don't mind pineapple on pizza. It's not my favorite thing, but if someone says they like it, I don't go crazy. For me, I'm honestly fine with just pepperoni, but there's a lot of good options. Anyways, thank you for watching.